What is going on, y'all? New video today about the Xbox and PlayStation storage. Let's get into it. Now, like I said, this is mostly for the Xbox because they just, they announced it. They're talking about it right now. Sony earlier this year talked about something very, very, very similar. So keep that in mind when I talk about it. It's basically for both, but mainly we're focusing on Xbox right now. Now, the Xbox Series S and X will let players free up storage space by selectively uninstalling parts of the game. What does this mean? Let's take Call of Duty for example. On PC, I'm able to install just the campaign, just multiplayer, or just the battle royale mode. What is it? Warzone, whatever that is. Now, Microsoft and on the Xbox, they're trying to do the same thing. They greenlit it. Switch over to the screen. Here's the article. Now, even beyond the hardware, we've actually made. Here's a quote right here. Let me zoom in. Even beyond the hardware, we've actually made the user interface improvements to make it easier for you to manage your storage. As an example, one of the new features we're adding is actually for, if the title chooses to support it, the ability to selectively uninstall different components of the game. Now, what they mean by that is if the developers support it, that's really all that is. The developers are going to have to decide to support, depending on what game they're making, if they can fit it into the time, the time crunch to make the game. And maybe later down the road, they can push an update out that'll later let you choose what to install. So let's say you play a campaign as an example. Here's another quote. And then you want to focus exclusively on multiplayers. If the developers choose to support it, you can actually uninstall the campaign itself so that you can be more in control of how you're actually using the Xbox storage. And as you can see here, they've created their own Seagate $220 terabyte NVMe SSD. Now, this thing's powerful. It's fast. It's up to date. It's it's what you need. Now they've created this Xbox to only be able to play games at such high speeds on the storage. So you're kind of forced to buy this expandable storage. And it's kind of, $220 is a lot of money. It's like what, around $80 less than getting another Xbox console, the Series S. Now, I would, if it was me and I was Microsoft of all people, I'd make that shit 150. But realistically, I would make it 180. 180 is probably for me a sweet spot, to actually consider getting this. For me personally, I'm just gonna be playing hot potato with my games on storage. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna spend $220 on a terabyte, bro. I'm sorry, especially for the Xbox. I can't even put this in a computer. Later if I want to do that, I can't do nothing but put this in an Xbox. So to me, that's just can't do that. And third party sellers might try to make their own. I just don't know if when they do, if it's gonna work at the same speeds, because you can't even play games unless you're at this spec of this storage. Now you can put games on a hard drive and an SSD to transfer it over to the storage, but that'll take time. On a hard drive, it could take, about an hour, maybe longer. SSD, just cut that in half, So that's what I want to say for that. And also keep in mind, down here, where do they say it? Up here. The Xbox Series X comes with a terabyte of internal storage, right? But the Xbox Series X has 20% of its storage is for the operating system, leaving around 800 gigs for storage. 800 gigs is what you're left with. And the freaking PS5 only has about 800 gigs, and I can't even imagine. The Xbox Series S has 512 gigs. Cut 20% of that out. No wonder they want you. They really want you to get that $220 expandable slot, man. That's crazy. But yeah, that's all I really had to say today. So basically, the gist of it, Xbox is they're trying to implement a feature, but the developers have to also work it into their game to selectively uninstall and install parts of your game. And besides multiplayer, where this can come in handy, let's say you just get a game digitally. You know you're not going to play too long today, but you really want to just start playing. Let me install the first 4 chapters, you know what I mean? That'd be tight, and then install the rest later. That's where I really think that would come into play for me as a gamer. If I can install chapters, 'cause sometimes, I'm not going to play the whole game right when I get it and sit down and not get up. If I can install a couple of chapters quick, that'd be tight. If you like what you saw in this video, like, comment, subscribe. TJK, aka Tyler Cordalis, and I'm out.